St. Louis, Missouri, Newark, New Jersey, Chicago, Illinois, Denver, Colorado, Dallas, Texas, Indianapolis, Indiana, Topeka, Kansas, Vicksburg, Mississippi, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Western Illinois also, and also Charlotte, North Carolina, Memphis, Tennessee, Baltimore, Maryland, Scottsdale, Arizona, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Kansas City, Missouri, home of Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, go Chiefs. Brooklyn Olympics and Liberty Commemoration for February the 18th, 2023. My name is Aaron Approach, your host and creator, along with Elder Alden Lyles. Rev, how you doing, sir?
Fine.
And how's the family doing, sir?
Fine.
And also, I know that my little band director is busy someplace today.
Oh, yeah, they something else.
I see you changing the tune on. You're doing something else now. Okay. And also, we got Brother Scott. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Scott Owens is our real estate broker of the year here with us, and how's the wife doing also? She getting close?
Oh, she's getting close. She's going to graduate in May.
Oh, my God.
So 3 more months.
3 more months, okay? She's getting ready to get ready.
Getting ready to get ready, that's right.
And we're getting ready to get ready. Also, we're broadcasting live on Ferguson USA HotTalkRadio.com from beautiful Winston Terrace, Missouri. That's in South and North County, and also from North City, St. Louis, and also from all of Missouri. And we invite you to join us again tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and also on Wednesdays. We can hear it live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and also you can get our podcast on Spotify. But right now, you can get us live because we have Pastor and Elder Alden Lyles, who's the pastor of the Walnut Park Bible Chapel Church, located at 55 Washington Linden Avenue. That's in North St. Louis, 6312. This man wears many, many hats. We call him the pastor, we call him the elder, and I call him Reverend Alden Lyles, pastor of Walnut Park Bible Chapel Church, located in North St. Louis, under the Black community, 5547 Linden Avenue. And that's in 6312. We need the zip code. One more time, we have 3 times here. Prayer with Elder Alden Lyles, the pastor of Walnut Park Bible Chapel Church, located at 5547 Linden Avenue. Reverend Alden Lyles, what do you have for today, sir?
My topic.
Oh, you got a prayer for
Real deep. Agape love.
Okay, well, let's get the prayer in first, Rev.
Bow our heads.
Mm-hmm.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for waking us up this morning. We thank you for your wonderful gospel, how that Christ died for our sin, was buried, and rose again. And by continue believing to the saving of the soul, continues to make heaven your home before you sleep and after you sleep. Heavenly Father, we think we're already seated in heavenly places in Christ Jesus.
Amen.
Our name is written in the Lamb Book of Life. And Heavenly Father, we want you to bless the sick all over the universe. And we know everything going to be all right with the fellowship with you today in Jesus' most precious name. Amen.
Amen, Reverend. Thank you, Reverend Lyles. I'm somewhat remiss, okay? A couple of weeks ago, back on the 9th of February, you and I were all part of the delegation, but you met County Executive Sam Page in his office, you and the Mr. Montgomery and all those met, okay? And you gave a beautiful prayer, Rev. I want to thank you for that. I haven't told you that over the air, okay? That prayer set the tone for the rest of the meeting. Again, prayers make things go right. So, Rev, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. On our program, baby, Sarah, give me some prayer, because God knows we need prayer more than ever before. So what you got, Rev?
Lesson's going to be on the agape love. And I'm going to explain agape love in the scriptures.
Okay. That's deep.
Now, the first part of that, I'm going to tell you what agape love is. Isaiah 43. This is why it's agape love, because it said the chosen nation is redeemed and restored. Just tell you, God haven't forgot about Israel. They scatter all over the universe now, but God ain't forgot them.
Amen.
But now thus said the Lord, that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel. Fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name, thou art mine. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they should not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither should the flame kindle upon thee. For I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave you Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia, Seba, for thee. Since thou wast precious in my sight, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore, when I give men for thee, and people for thy life, fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. Even every one that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him, yea, I have made him. Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and the deep that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this and show us things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say it is truth. Ye are my witnesses, said the Lord, and my servants whom I have chosen, that you may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither should there be after me. I, even I am the Lord, and beside me there is no Savior. I have declared and have saved, and I have showed when there was no strange God among you. Therefore ye are my witnesses, said the Lord, that I am God. Ye before the day was I am he, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who shall let it? Thus said the Lord, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. For your sake I have sent to Babylon, and have brought down all their nobles, and the Chaldeans, whose cry is in the ships. And I am the Lord, your Holy One, the Creator of Israel, your King. I'm going on to something else. Now I'm going to go to 54 of Isaiah. This is why God is an agape love, because he said, Israel, the restored wife of Jehovah. All the mess that they did, he still loved them and restored them from their sin. Even in their unbelief, he drew them in. Because he loved, this was agape love is. I think this is Jehovah, restored wife of Jehovah. And then this is why they restored wife for all what he did. He said he gonna redeem them. The agape love said all. A-L-L is all. The G in agape is said godliness. The A is able. The P is people. It's everlasting. Love. The L is life. The O is obedience. The V is victorious. And E is eternal.
Come on.
And that's what agape love is. And it took agape love.
Real, you gotta say that another time, okay? Make sure we get this. Let's say it two more times.
Agape love means all. The A, the G means godliness. The A means able. The P means people. And the E means everlasting. And the L means life and love. And the O in love means obedience. And the V in love means victorious. And the E means eternal. The A means all. The G means godliness. The A means able. The P is people. The E is everlasting. The L is life. The O is obedience. The V is victorious. The E is eternal. Ain't that wonderful?
That's deep, real. But see, we hear about the love all the time, okay? And, you know, and I never heard it explained, or broken down, I should say, the way you did it today. So that's what, again, that's why I should say it 2 more times, you know, so that people can understand and let it marinate into their mind and to their soul. But thank you, sir. I'm sorry, but go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt, but go ahead, sir.
And I have another point to bring out this agape love. Go to Hosea, the 2nd chapter. This is why this is explaining agape love. I just explained it in Isaiah. Now I'm going to explain it in Hosea.
Okay.
Hosea, the 2nd chapter, and verse 1 to 23. It said, the chastisement of adulterous Israel. Say ye unto your brethren, Aman to your sister and Ruhamah, plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteresses from between her breasts. Lest I strip her naked, and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and let her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms. For their mother had played the harlot. She had conceived them, had done shamefully, for she said, I will go after my lovers, and give me my bread, and my water, my wool, and my flax, my oil, and my drink. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns, and make a wall that she should not find her path, and she should follow after her lovers, but she should not overtake them, and she should seek them, but should not find them. Then should she say, I will go and return to my first husband, for then was it better with me than now. For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Therefore will I return, and take away my corn in the same thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax, given to cover her nakedness. And now would I discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and done to deliver her out of my hand. I would also cause her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, and all her Solomon's feasts. And I would destroy her vines and her fig trees. Well, she had said, these are my reward that my lovers have given me. And I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field should eat them. And I will visit upon her the days of Balaam, wherein she burned incense to them. And she decked herself with her earrings and her jewel. She went after her lovers and forgot me, said the Lord. Israel is the adulterous wife to be restored. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. And I will give her her vineyard from thence in the valley of Acre for a door of hope. And she shall sing there as in the days of her youth, and as in the days when she came up out of the land of Egypt. And it should be at that day, said the Lord, that thou should call me Ishai, and should not call me no more Balaam. For I would take away the names of Balaam out of her mouth, and they should no more be remembered by their name. And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth thee unto me forever, yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness, and in judgment, and in loving kindness, and in mercies. I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Lord. And it shall come to pass in that day I will hear, said the Lord. I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth. And the earth shall hear the corn, and the wine, and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. And I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her, and had not obtained mercy, and I will say to them, which were not my people, thou art my people, and they shall say, thou art my God. Amen. May the Lord, that's the agape love.
If you just had a mouthful, then break that down for us.
See, agape love is that we didn't love him. They rejected him, but he loved them first.
Mm-hmm.
That's what agape love.
Mm-hmm.
I love God because he first loved me. That's agape love.
Okay.
That's a deep love. That's a love without hands.
Well,
The Lord got the whole world in his hand, but he got the whole world without his hand, as well as with his hands.
You know, Red, that's a song we sung growing up, you know, but you don't hear that anymore. Like, you know, her rose in his hand, you know, and it's things like that, okay, that is still early on, you know, in our school days, okay, that God was with us and God is for us.
Amen.
And God be with us. I'm sorry, go ahead, Dory. I'm sorry.
But you can see why that's agape love. That's agape love because it's unconditional. See, man's love, when man try to get a divorce, God don't get to give divorce. God know that his love for his wife, which are the chosen children, his chosen people, the Israelites, and he showed his love for them. Even if without them him showing their love toward him, they came back to him anyway, because he's a God of love. Amen. And that's why it makes agape love so deep.
Yeah, well, like, it's one of those things, you know, the real that when we sleep, when we wake up, when we go to bed, when we do anything in between all those hours, okay, all during the day, they see the 24/7 God. And 365 some days, 66 God, you know, that's always going to be there with us and for us. And with us. And so right now, go ahead.
See, God didn't forget Israel. People think God forget Israel, but he just already told you what's going to happen. They're going to be restored. Just like God restored Israel, also Jesus Christ going to restore us.
Mm-hmm.
The church, the bride.
Mm-hmm.
The bride of the church, it's a two-point story. It was Judah and Israel. Those are the two nations that was a horde, and God brought them back together.
You know, another thing, okay, that you're saying here, so I will say pre-pandemic, okay, that was even pre-pandemic, people had stopped going to church, okay. They got away from going to God's house, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm saying that was prior to the pandemic. And so now you're seeing church visitation down like never before. Talk about that.
See, the church is people. People are the church.
Thank you, sir.
And the church, what God told us to walk by faith and not by sight.
Not by sight, yes.
We can be anywhere in the church. Like right now, we have a church right now.
If
it's 2 or 3 gathered together in my name in the greens, I'll be in the midst.
That's what he says. That's in Matthews.
Brother Ira, Brother Scotty.
Yes, sir.
And Elder Lyles.
and all our listeners around the world.
And all our listeners all over the universe.
Yes.
So y'all know what already, even before it happened, God already told you the future of Israel. They're going to be restored.
There you go.
Regardless of what they did. They still going to be restored because he has agape love. The other love, L-O-V-E, is man's love, which is not as powerful and deep as that. A man try to make it that way, but it ain't. The only deepest love is of God.
Amen.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Thank God for Jesus.
Well, Rev, on that note, we're going to say thank you for a beautiful message today, okay, about agape love. You told us where you got, where to find it, what it's like today, and what we're going through today. So, Reverend, I just Elder Lyles, Pastor one up for God Chapter Church, located 55 Forest and Little Areas in Los Angeles. About the message, there is a message today. That's God on. My name is Ira Fowlkes. This is the Lunch and Missouri coverage on Ferguson, USA, HotTalkRadio.com, and also on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I've been living color. And then no Scott, check it out here. Welcome back to Lunch with the Resort Chicken Commerce on a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in St. Louis. Matter of fact, it was cold yesterday. It'll be a hot day. Matter of fact, this is a good day for having a parade. Here in St. Louis, we have the 44th annual Mardi Gras parade. Now, this is a parade that's number 2 in the whole country. The parade, they have a Mardi Gras in New Orleans, Louisiana. This is their second year doing this, and it's already kicked off this morning. And another large crowd. And also, they're going to have a ball at City Hall to follow up. But again, congratulations to my good friend of mine that met me years ago, Mr. Bradley, and I think what he's doing. And also, this is, people even forget, okay, but they're going to talk about it. But this is Black History Month in the world, so to speak, but we don't give people credit for it. And so we're going to do a little survey here, okay? And so the estimated 90 black patriots fought against the British in the Revolutionary War. Even before the war began, black patriots, Cyprus is considered a hero for himself for doing what event? Well, that was during the Boston Massacre. And people only talk about that, but that's what he was. Then, so another thing was there's another, I talked about Frederick Douglass was a famous abolitionist. He was the first American confirmed for a presidential appointment by the Senate. And that's history being made. And the first, and this always gets me also, who was the first African-American governor and what state did he serve from? Well, the first black governor, I always like to say Douglas Wilder of Virginia, okay, but I was wrong about that. But he was a gentleman by the name of P.B.S. Hitchback of Louisiana.
Amen.
Yeah, so that's P.B.S. Hitchback of Louisiana. And the first two African-American U.S. senators represented which state? Well, guess what? He represented the first two African-American senators represented the state of Mississippi. He were not. This is going back, before they changed things around in the Constitution here. And also, African-American volunteers comprised one of the most famous World War military groups in history, and that was the Tuskegee Airmen. And they were the ones that got in the Air Force. They never lost a plane, and never lost a battle in all during the World War II. And they were very famous for that. And also, another one of the things that goes back, okay, a lady by the name of Fannie Lou Hamer. She was the co-founder of the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. And that goes back, okay, and that got started years and years ago. And the first black woman elected to the United States Congress was a lady by the name of Shirley Chisholm. Also, she went on to run to be the first black person to run for president of the United States also. And we're very proud of her also. And also one of the things that very, 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 very much changed history as a whole was that who stepped in order the landmark decision case Brown versus Brown before the United States Supreme Court, and later served as the first African-American on the Supreme Court. We all know who that is Thurgood Marshall, a very, very famous lawyer that kind of changed life around with that Brown versus Brown for education. And also, who was the first African-American president? African-American served as Secretary of State. Colin Powell, who recently died a year or so ago, and did a special 10 some years ago, and he was very much in many positions, and did a lot of things over our history that changed our history. And also something that this should be very much, I guess, you should ask how many right now African American women were elected or re-elected to serve in the Congress in the 2020 election. 26 women, black women, or the United States Congress. And we have to say that one of those women is our Congresswoman here in St. Louis, Ms. Cori Bush, serving her second term in Congress. And she's been doing a lot of things for our community. And matter of fact, one of the things that she's fighting for right now is very important what I'm about to say to you, okay? One of the things that she's fighting for is back during the wars, we had a lot of contamination that was put in the ground around the St. Louis area. Because by the time it bombed, stuff like that was kind of created in this area. So now, a lot of our schools, a lot of our communities right now, we're having problems with contamination that's been in the soil for a long time. And we hear about it, and you say, well, oh man, what happened back then? Well, right now, I bring your attention to the state of Ohio, East Palestine, Ohio. Okay? That's right now, this is history being made before your very eyes. You're going to hear his name before, Erin Brockovich. Now, she came to be known years ago, for the exposing contamination, and they made a movie about her life, what she did. Well, she's back on the scene again. She's still around. And people aren't aware, when you hear about this train wreck they had in Ohio a couple weeks ago now, and that they had the toxic waste, and they had not notified the city that it was coming through there. Matter of fact, the law says when you move toxic waste, they should know that all the cities along that route and Norwood Railroad did not do that. And unfortunately, they had a train wreck. And they hold it down, dude. That's what the bubble, the mailman. That's what they do. Wait, he gone. The mailman just passed. I know it, Bubba. We all know around the world that the mailman can get him out. Okay. Well, anyway, when they had this train wreck, they had to evacuate the city, East Palestine, and they were gone for over 48 hours. Okay, then so you come back to your homes. Now, the first one, they cannot drink water. If you didn't get your kids out, they're gonna put you in jail. And all of a sudden, they said you can go back in. Now they got fish dying in the waters, people getting sick, and they're saying it's okay. It ain't okay. What they did there, took that train, all that material that was contaminated already, and dug a hole and put it in the ground. And Red, you know, being in the service, okay, over there, that cleaning, that's not how you do that. That's not how you clean up a waste site.
Sure way.
And that is, so now they're saying you can come back in. And so now all they're doing now is contaminating. That's going to get in the ground and contaminate all their water sources.
If I could put in, that's very similar to the fire. That's very similar to the firefighting foam that they used in Camp Lejeune and a lot of military bases.
There you go, Scott. Same exact thing. Exactly the same thing. And right now, there are all types of lawsuits being filed. You know, years later, they say, and you see this on TV all the time, you know, because those people, unfortunately, you watch it before your very eyes, okay? And this is, no, you don't got to trust Ira or trust Scott. You're going to hear about this for the next couple of months, okay?
Oh, yeah.
But they dug a hole and put this all in the ground, okay? And now they tell you can go back home now, you okay. And people are saying, hold on a second here, okay? And unfortunately, okay, for the people, you know, the powers that be in governors and the people in Ohio, for the politicians, as you say, people can read history and they know that it's not okay. And now they're just finally invited in the EPA come in and get their opinion. And by the way, so people understand, when something like this happens in a state, okay, President Biden cannot automatically send the EPA in because the governor has to invite the president to come in to bring in those resources. So now the EPA is about to come in now, but now they already tell people they can go back to your homes, everything is safe, don't worry about it, you're in good shape. And people are saying, we don't believe that. It's all over TV, so don't listen to me, Scott, and Real Naira here. I mean, we're not trying to, tell you something that we don't know. But that's what you're going to see and take place for your very eyes. And Aaron Brockovich, who is a whistleblower back in 1993, they exposed the waste back then. And guess what? While this is going on, Real, they got people from Norfolk Railroad going around the house that you door to door, ask them to sign a paper saying they would not sue them. Okay? And they give them $1,000. Wait a minute, Real. They just give them $1,000 to sign the paper.
Wow.
Okay? I mean, come on. This is right before our very eyes. This is corporate America at its best. And by the way, Real and Scott and our listeners around the world, you hear this, Norfolk Railroad had a record-breaking year last year in profit. So they got all type of money. And also, they recently had another accident not long ago, a second one.
That would also come out from the Superfund for the EPA.
Well, Scott, here in St. Louis, Missouri, okay, I was involved in another life years ago, okay, here in St. Louis, Missouri, we had a contamination site where we had a company called Corporator. and they had a manufacturing plant at Singles and Grand and Singles Avenue in St. Louis, which is in North City. And this is where they manufactured carburetors and all the oil and all this stuff. They eventually left that site, and it was declared a site, like you just said, Scott, for a cleanup. And the city of St. Louis, the community fought that for over 27 years. And I was fortunate enough to actually get involved and was able to help secure a cleanup of that. And so I can tell you, just because the money is there, okay, does that mean, and this all was taking place, okay, let me explain why it took so long. A gentleman bought part of the one of the buildings that was involved in the carburetor there. And the holdup was, we found out, was that he did not want to pay his fair share. But he done bought some property, trying to get rich real quick, okay, and he got caught. And he, matter of fact, Scott, he went to all the meetings I went to, he did all those meetings, listened to us complaining about what the problem was. He just said one merry word. But I got involved, we got Senator Roy Blunt's office involved. We cleaned that site up. And now the Boys Club here in St. Louis, Herbert Boys Club now have that ground they use it now.
Well,
so I can tell you that. Go ahead, Scott.
Don't we also have a area near St. Louis called, is it Venice Beach, or?
Well, Platoon Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had seen the whole city got wiped out.
Yeah, because of dioxin.
Matter of fact, we got a problem right here now. It's called West Lake. Well, that's in North County, right here in the Richmond area. Not far from where I live at. They got issues out there now. So right now, okay, put that stuff in the ground is not a remedy to what's going on. Okay, so we want everybody to remember that you heard that, and we spend a little time on that today to let you know that history repeats itself. More than, like I said, if you know your history, you're going to repeat it. And that's why it's such important to understand our Black history, what we have done, been a part of, what we have done in our country, to be a part of the United States of America. And our kids need to know what is taking place in our, and matter of fact, you can always get a copy of our programs. We're on Spotify. Put in Lunch with the Blood Human Commerce. And I'll show like a newspaper once a week, okay, to tell you what's going on around the country. And while we're talking about nationally speaking, another national story, that this is just a tip of the iceberg. It's a company called Old Dominion, Dominion voting system. Well, you cannot, it's against the law for me to talk about somebody and destroy their reputation. Well, Fox News is now guilty of spreading false information. On this station, when Scott knows this, Real knows this, if we make a mistake, okay, we will come back and let the community know we made a mistake. Right, Scott?
That's right.
Right. That's what the law says. Well, unfortunately for Fox News, and I watch Fox also, I watch all the stations. I'm a news fanatic, okay? And so I'm not definitely on Fox News here, but after the president's election, they put out false information to make a profit. And the reason they did that because Fox News, they got out of favor with former President Donald Trump. So they announced that the Arizona had been won by Joe Biden. And he was mad at them. Pissed off at them, like a better description, okay? And so he was telling people to go someplace else for news. And so when they came about, okay, opportunity came up again, within the spread bad news, okay, about the election of 2020, knowing that it was we went to the Supreme Court. Nothing went wrong. It was the fairest election in our entire history. But on Fox News, where they spread it, well, now we got all types of laws now that's being instituted around the country, almost 40-some states now. You got laws saying, we're trying to make the system more fairer. But in the meantime, they disenfranchising Black voters. We're paying the price for that right now, all over the country. New laws have been put in. But now, okay, it comes time for Fox News to be involved in this lawsuit. Now, keep in mind, this is Dominion voting system. But there's another voting system that's also suing them for over $1 billion. This lawsuit is for $1.6 billion. That's a lot of money. And right now, in our court system, it moves slow. Okay, and right now it makes it so bad. We're reading right now documents that show on the air. See, one thing about what we do here, we got tapes of this video, live audio, emails, all being they keep that stuff, and so we have emails, documentation, voice, and all that stuff showing that while they were on the air telling the country a lie, and they knew it. Well, that's against the law, right, Scott? Right, Rick? You cannot go out there. You can't go out and tell people a lie when you know it's a lie.
Well, it's against ethics, but I don't know if it's really against the law.
Well, we're about to find out, Scott. That's the good part about this, okay? It's about to be proven in the court of law, okay, that it's against the law.
Okay.
But it is ethics, okay? Ethics. But right now, that $1.6 billion lawsuit is going to prove that Fox News right now, and it shows not just the guy people on the air, but it all goes all the way up to the CEO of the company, the Dr. Mr. Rubrik, and the whole inside senior staff all knew, and they can't say they didn't know, but they had a copy of the email or the voicemail. They said, well, they were lying to us, okay? They were lying behind the scenes. That's not right. That's not right. So again, this weekend, we're going to hear a whole lot of stuff being talked about that. That's what's going on, and just watch your eyes and just listen to the details. Like I always say on this program, watching our government work is a work of art. And so now you're going to watch the court system. Now, in the meantime, how is it going to affect former President Donald Trump? We don't know yet. How is it going to affect the people that believe in that and got elected all based on that? We don't know yet. So that just means they pass out, change the whole dynamics of our entire country. That's wrong. That's wrong. Now, I want to make sure we don't get caught up in what's going on down in Memphis, Tennessee yesterday. The 5 police officers, all black police officers, that murdered Tyree Nichols before our very eyes on the videos that we have there, got up in court yesterday and pleaded not guilty. Now,
that's a lie. They're gonna talk about not guilty, and they know they saying that that didn't happen. That's one of the biggest lies.
Well, Rev, I'm laughing, okay, because I knew you was gonna say that. Okay, when I said that, okay, but they're saying they didn't do it. They're saying they didn't kill that man. And now we're not supposed to be the cameras that we saw, not supposed to be the audio that we heard of being what they said they did. And right now there are 6 officers that lost their job, but right now these first 5 were all black. And by the way, the Scorpion unit that did this unjustly, this act to this young man. And by the way, this was not just a little poor kid walking down the street, okay? He had a nice car, worked for FedEx, making very good money. And the bad part about it is he's going home to see his mother after for dinner. He did that every night. I mean, he wasn't no hoodlums that they had that go around doing stuff in the neighborhood. That they're going to get him for doing some stuff. And right now, his mother and her whole family right now got to go through all of this. I think Reverend Al Crumpton, and our lawyer there, Mr. Crump, for bringing this case and put it in the light. And also, one of the things I have to let people know, Reverend Al Short, whether you like him or not, okay, but these people invited him in to do this. And at 13 years old, okay, he became a preacher in the Church of God in Christ. And has been preaching since then. I mean, so it's not just that, he's doing stuff. Every time he gets a chance to preach, okay, he's a minister. He was ordained at 13 years old.
Amen.
Good coaching, Church of God in Christ. So right now, Church of God in Christ has a history of being involved with our black history. But it's not always so. But here's a man right now, another coach of Church of God in Christ, supporting him. Even the church that had the funeral in a couple weeks ago, there was a Church of God in Christ church down in Memphis, Tennessee. And Memphis, Tennessee is a home of the Church of God in Christ.
Amen.
That's their headquarters. And this is right where Dr. King was killed. And when he made that, I have a big speech to give these people jobs. We went there, okay, if you're not aware, to fight for people's rights. That's what Dr. King was doing when he was in Memphis, Tennessee. He wasn't down there sightseeing. No, he was down there supporting city workers to get jobs. And guess what? Almost 50-some years later, we got some black men on the police force killing another black man. And, but again, we cannot not lose sight of all that's going on here. Because this is very, very important. And also, we can't lose sight of what's happening down in Atlanta, Georgia, right now. The prosecuting attorney, who's going to be a black woman there, is in the process now. She convened a grand jury in Georgia. And this is called Georgia law, by the way. Georgia law, not federal law. Georgia law. She's attorney general for the state of Atlanta, and the law is broken there because Atlanta, Georgia, is also the capital of the state of Georgia. That's the capital city. So right now, this all took place in the state capital of Georgia, which is Atlanta, Georgia. And so those gave her jurisdiction there to bring these lawsuits. And the grand jury came back, and what they did, I kind of appreciated this, okay, rather than put people's names out front, anybody want to do it, she's the one that has people reputation of yet, okay? So they would come out during the trial. And so right now, there'll be some indictments coming down. An indictment don't necessarily mean that you're guilty yet, but it means that you got to go, you're going to be able to be tried in court. Now, while this is going on, okay, there are other opportunities right now. The Department of Justice right now has subpoena, about to subpoena Vice President, former Vice President Pence in the investigation they're having there. It stems from the 2021 January 6th, siege of our capital in Washington, D.C. That investigation is taking place, and we all have seen, on TV before our eyes again. Don't forget this, what took place there. And all leads back up to former President Trump plotting in the White House how he could stay in power. That power is a powerful thing. People, they want to have power. They say power, money. They say power of money. And Reverend, you talked about it in your lesson this morning. After lunch, you say, it's that love for power, okay, over money, okay. They get people in trouble.
Yep.
And so right now we have a special prosecutor that's investigating that, and also you hear again there was some FBI looking for some more documents, to be found. They took President Biden's resident, no documents, and also did the same for Vice President Trump, Pence. And also, and all this is going on, last Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs became the Super Bowl champion. Yes, for the National Football League. And I am proud to say, I've been watching this NFL Super Bowl stuff since the first got started years ago. And for the first time in my life, okay, I never saw all pre-game commentators go against the number one offensive team in the whole country, against the Chiefs, and also against the most valuable player in the league, Patrick Mahomes, against the Chiefs. They all were bet against the Chiefs. And guess who won? The Chiefs.
Yep.
and they won with Patrick Mahomes on that same bad leg, hopping down the field. So right now, I'm happy to say, Missouri Chamber of Commerce, is proud to say, that's our team. But we were our team before that. And right now, they won, for those not aware, they won the game by a score of 38-35. They ran the clock out. But either way it goes, it doesn't matter. They are Super Bowl champions for the next year. And I'm happy to say that a young man that held on that play came out and said, I did hold that man. So that was a good call. The referee did not make a bad call. He made the right call. And that's how I show you in life. One small thing can change your whole life around. And that was an excellent example right there of one small thing changing who are the Super Bowl champions of the world. You know, because Super Bowl is one of the most watched events in the whole world. And the whole world saw, justice being done in that call. So again, we applaud that referee. We applaud the young man that said, I did it. I didn't try to hide it. Over 500,000 people showed up last Wednesday, in Kansas City after the parade down Grand Avenue in Kansas City, and it was a beautiful thing to watch. I watched it on TV myself. Couldn't be there, but I was proud to say, hey, we are the Super Bowl champions state of the world for the next 12 months. Right, Rev? We can brag.
That's right.
Yeah, we are. So we are the champions. And also, while all this is going on, here in St. Louis, for the second time, the United States Chess Federation, which is now located here in St. Louis, as a matter of fact, on the chess club right in Central West End, we have a second scandal possibly where where one of the executives there, in fact, he's in charge of training people. For the chess club, it stepped down because there's an investigation of sexual harassment. And in this case, a lady came out and said he did this over 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. But what makes it so important here that other women have come forward since then, and he still continues to doing that. So he's been replaced in that position, and so that's a good thing. That's a good thing, okay? And also, again, another great thing here is this past week, oh my God. Well, first of all, we had the shootings most recently in East Lansing, which is Michigan State University campus, where, again, just 3 young people lost their lives. And there were several people put in the hospital. And again, the killer was a coward, killed himself. But at the same time, those lives, that whole community will be forever changed. And just last night,
that's a demonic spirit.
Yes, you are, Ray. We talk about them all the time, okay?
That's just a demonic spirit that entertaining these people to do more wickedness with the wickedness that's in them. And I guarantee you, every one of those persons that did that killing was an unsaved person.
But Rev, I'm not going to stop with what happened in Michigan, okay? Just yesterday, in Mississippi, in Tate County, 6 more people are dead. 6 people are dead. Matter of fact, in a county like that, everybody knows everybody. And so one of the people got killed with this man's ex-business partner. But the good part here, there's a good part about it, the suspect was arrested, okay? They do have a suspect in the case. And also we have a suspect a couple days ago out in Los Angeles, California. 2 Jewish men, two men in Los Angeles, involved in a shooting. We got shot, I should say. Again, here the suspect was caught. And these are federal hate crimes. And so now, one of the things that the George Floyd Act would have done, okay, I can't say it would have stopped these killings, okay? Now, even right here in St. Louis, just yesterday, we had a jury. Police officer got walked free after allegations, okay, from 2 people, okay, some former officers accused him of, raping a woman. but guess what? Because the news that he gets a police officer, he's walking clear. Like, that never happened. But these are the things, okay, that were involved in the George Floyd the crime bill that has yet to be passed. And as a matter of fact, one of the things that's going to get you here, Tim Scott, who was a black man in the Senate on the Republican side, was negotiating with Senator Booker of New Jersey on how to come to a conclusion for the Senate. The same Tim Scott now is running for president. Okay? So remember that, okay? This same Tim Scott blocked the George Floyd bill in the Senate. It wasn't McConnell. He didn't do it. Tim Scott did it. A black man. His face right now, he's running for president now. So now, here's a man that's continuously blocking a bill that would have changed everybody's rights, laws for everybody, to get fair justice. And he's right now saying, vote for me for president. I ain't trying to get the vote for, okay, but please keep that in mind, okay? Please keep that in mind when you go to the polls, okay? Then also, something that we have heard a lot about in the last couple of weeks here is that the balloons that were shot down. First of all, the one that was shot down, okay, off the Carolinas, that was a spy balloon. At first, the Chinese would say it was a weather balloon that was all course. Once it went down, they changed their story. Oh yes, that wasn't. We want our stuff back. Okay, that you did us wrong because it became a spy balloon. Now this happened before our eyes. Okay, that what took place here, and also the other two balloons that were shot down. And this right now, I read it just the other day. Okay, it was kind of fun, and I read it. That one of the balloons, okay, that was shot down came from someplace here in Missouri. It was an experimental balloon that they put up there, as an experiment for a science experiment. And so that's why I said what President Biden and they all saying was those last two balloons, okay, were not spy balloons, okay. But what happened here is we now have technology that exposes more than ever before. And that is what's taking place here, okay? Now, I can't say this technology has been around for a while, but it's now being shared in the Biden administration, what's been going on for a couple of years now. And his job is to make our country safe, and that's what he's doing. And also, just this past week, okay, I'm happy to say that now I got some power with this man, I'm be upfront with, okay, but U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland was in St. Louis this past week, okay, part of his government community partnership. I'm together for a crime, for natural crime prevention office in downtown St. Louis. Charles Jones spoke about how the Missouri legislators are passing bills to take control of our police department right now from the city of St. Louis. And also they're trying to restrict Attorney General Kim Gordon. Now, it hasn't been on Kim Gordon, okay, that a lot of things, her office is kind of not keeping up, okay, with what's been going on. I know the pandemic, okay, has affected a lot of these offices around the country. But right now, she needs to get more money, she needs to get more people. And I understand people have probably recruiting people right now, but she needs to get her act together. But anyway, right now, they're trying to restrict our prosecutorial powers. Now, what's happening here, there's a state government, there's a local government. And the local government, right, matter of fact, not only are they trying to tell her what to do or not to do, there's some other bills they're trying to pass also now, okay, to take control of some other local government activities. Now, these guys who are up there right now in the state legislature, if they want to be working in state city government, they can do that. They're trying to legislate from the state government. That's not how the law enforcement work, okay? That's not good at all. And also, this week we are happy to report that Mr. Lamar Johnson, now the man is falsely accused, some people said apparently did commit in 1994, was released this past week. Judge David Mason had a trial, and evidence came out that the eyewitnesses recanted what he said. The evidence did not prove that he was guilty, and he walked free this past week. Well, unfortunately, the restitution he's going to get, okay, is not. Well, you're going to see a lot on TV, by the way, for the next couple of weeks right now, about how you should go about dealing with prisoners and stuff. And the fact that he was not cleared on the DNA evidence, he will not get any restitution. So that's not good for him. But also with the fact that he's free right now, finally, that he can. He's been. You can imagine a man been in jail since 1994, real, and now he's coming out in 2023. That's a long time.
Long time, yeah.
A very long time. But something he didn't do. Matter of fact, they still, the state of Missouri still saying he's guilty. When the policeman, and everybody else said, the police said, well, I thought that was him. I mean, we had, what do you call it, slow eye or something. Well, a lot of people got that in the black community. And he wasn't the only one. But for those things, and like I said, the witness came back, one of the witnesses that came back and said, they gave me money, okay, to testify against him. Oops, didn't talk about that, did you? So again, these are the type of things that are taking place, that are right in our lives. I'm not nosy, and and we feel it's unfair, and we're not going to do it's unfair, because the courts are coming back now, kind of clearing up some of their bad business and stuff. And also, you listen to Fowlkes and USAHotTalkRadio.com on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. February 18th. My name is Fowlkes. That's Scott. And also, you can hear on Facebook. You can be seen on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and also, again, we're going to be heard again on Sunday at 1 p.m. and also on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Or if you miss those times, you can always go to Spotify and type in Lunch with the King Commerce, or you can Google it. My name is Fowlkes. That's Scott. Thank you for listening to King Commerce. My name is beautiful. Have lunch with us again. So we'll end up. I'll see you down here. Welcome back to Lunch with the back King Congress on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in St. Louis, and I hope for the nice way you are. Normally this time we would have a shine out, but our boomer will be talking right now, not me, about what's going on in her generation, and she's running a little behind schedule today, which I knew about, so wait for her to call in any moment here. But in the meantime, there's still lots of that's been going on. Okay, a lot of stuff that's been going on. Right now, there have been a lot of things taking place around the world. And one thing that we had not talked about, early on was the war in Ukraine. We're coming up on the first anniversary of the whole year. This is a war that Russia invaded Ukraine, primarily because they wanted to join the United Nations. And they said, if you do that, okay, we're gonna invade you. Well, they did that. Now you ask why all these countries around the world fighting so helping Ukraine, because the United States has been one of the people that's been doing that. And also, we talked about this last week, okay? The lady that's in charge of the United Nations, okay, which has been so supportive of what President Biden has been doing. And, around the world, they all have been on the same page since day one. There's a black lady in the ambassador to the United Nations. And it is her job, okay, to talk to all the nations around the world. And she's been very successful. That's what Greenfield. She's been very successful, okay, and keeping the whole coalition together. And so now we're going to that second year. And you all watched on TV all the bombs and all that. First of all, Russia had promised this will be over in less than a month's time. We'll be in and out. Well, this has proven, by the way, that keep in mind that Vladimir Putin, president of Russia, is now on the hot seat because what he promised to do has not been taking place. And so right now, what's happened now, with Russia losing their battleship, which was, there's been nothing happening to Navy out there. They were taken early on. And then the forces that were coming in, the troops to invade them, that never took place. Then they started using, aerial missiles and stuff, from the bombing them from a distance, okay? But one of the things Ukraine is asking for is, Scott?
What's that?
I'm sorry, I thought you said something. Anyway, so right now, what's taking place, bombs have been raining all over Ukraine, but at home in Russia right now, all of the young men have been leaving Russia because Vladimir Putin decided to have a draft. All the men over 18 years of age, they go fight in the war. Well, those men all started getting out of Russia. So the problem is now the army that he planned to have, it doesn't exist. The troops are not there. All the men are leaving. They're flying out, getting trains out, buses out, walking out. But anything necessary, they have been leaving Russia. So now, what's taking place is he's been shooting these missiles. But now what Ukraine is asking for is additional help. And that help is coming in the way of some new tanks from the United States, from Germany. More nations are also considering getting us some fighter jets. So what this will do, okay, this will allow them to attack from the air. But again, we're praying that takes place sometime sooner than later. And we know it's going to be okay, but right now that's taking place as we speak. And also, also another thing that's taking place right before our very eyes, okay, is, we haven't talked about this a lot, but Roy Kelly, who's a number one a singer, a rapper, what you want to call it, for many, many years, okay. He got 25 more years in prison for his child pornography and attachment conviction from last year in Chicago. This will be added to 30 years he recently received. And this goes back again, okay, you cannot mess with our young kids under no circumstances. I don't care who you are, who you think you are, that is not going to take place. And also something that we all are somewhat embarrassed about, that you heard about, that the FBI found that one of their agents, oh my God, was working. We call him a double agent. That's what he be called. where he was working with the Russians to supply them information about our country. While he supposed to be investigating these Russians, the Russian oligarchs, he was in the same time supporting them. And also, just this past week, you're going to hear more about this, that for the first time we had a president, most presidents, when they leave office, okay, they kind of fade away into the sunset, and let the next president, continue on. Rather than they run for re-election, okay? So anyway, with President, I still call him President Trump. That's how he gets for life. What President Trump has done, not only is he continuing in political life, but his family is enriching themselves. He's made a deal with the Saudis and Russia, and we found, not Russia, Saudi Arabians, I should say, messed up, Saudi Arabia, where now his son-in-law got $2 billion as a consultant to set up a business for himself. $2 billion. That's a lot of money. But right now, that's what he's received. And now President Trump, also, you recall last year, there was a golf tournament that he started. And a lot of the top golfers, okay, went on the tour with him. And what happened was that those golfers, some of the top golfers joined his league. And this was being paid for by the Prince of Saudi Arabia. And those, what he tried to do was create a league against the PGA, Public Golf Association, the Professional Golf Association. And there's some good news that I'm about to come up to here. Tiger Woods is back. This last week, he teed off on Thursday, and he's in the top 10, at a tournament that he starts out in California. This is the same tournament that he got hurt, I believe, a couple of years ago. There you go. But right now, he's back playing golf again. And I don't know how he's going to finish this, okay? But anytime Tiger Woods is being highlighted, TV station, network, they're going to benefit for that. Excuse me, where's my whistle there? So right now, he's in the top 10 last night, and so that means he'll be playing. That means, okay, Scott, you're a golfer, I'm not. You can help me on this.
No, I'm not a golfer.
Oh my God, okay. But what that means is he made the cut. And that means he'll be able to be on TV for the weekend. And that means you gotta have a score that that says that you're in the top, whatever number they have there. And that allows you to also be able to he's also in our Missouri legislature. Oh my God. We just mentioned early on about them trying to take over the city of St. Louis police department, prosecuting attorney's office. And also there's a big stink now about and this is around the country, not just here in St. Louis, but it's kind of coming from down the governor of Georgia about transgender kids and how their rights are. And so right now, that's one of the things they are fighting, debating. I can't say that's fighting, they're debating. And one of the things that's taken the news last couple of weeks, okay, is that they had a person that they got fired. They call a whistleblower from Washington University. Maybe doing some research as a program. And what happened here is that they took her and made her the star of the show. But now the facts are coming out that what she's saying may not be true. Right now, it's in Missouri, but again, anything negative, okay, that would affect negative on the minority community, they wanted to discuss it. And so now, as they continue doing that, now I do have a problem with gender athletes. I have a problem looking at a young man all his life decided to be a female and become an Olympic champion. I do not like that. Or become a track star. I do not like that. The body does not change. I think there's limitations on that. That's my personal opinion. And also here in Missouri, this has been going on for a year. Healthcare benefits, healthcare service. Our legislator has been fighting for years against, he's given, and even during the Obama administration, where there were benefits for the community. Missouri has a whole lot of people that need social services and all that. Well, what they did, they refused to give it to them. Matter of fact, one year the governor put it in his budget and the legislature took it out. Now let me explain to you, okay, to make up our Missouri state legislature. We have a thing called term limitation in Missouri. That means you can only be a senator term, which is 8 years. That means also you can only be a state representative for 8 years, a term, 4 terms of 2 years. Now, most of these, legislators now on the Republican side come in there for 1 or 2 4-year terms, and what they'll do, they'll pass some laws that make no sense, okay, and they gone. And they have the slightest idea of why the laws are being passed. And we had said this years ago, if you listen to the show enough time, that in Missouri, and most states now, the lobbyists know more about what's going on than they do. And so now we find a lot of lobbyists, okay, who are former state representatives or state senators. And as a matter of fact, this is not right here. We have a black state representative who went to jail, and went to jail. Now he's registered now to be a lobbyist in Jeff City. Okay, that's not fair. You wasn't honest with your constituents, and so now, you're going to be out here now lobbying now. I don't think that's the way that should go. But whatever I have to say about that is not taking place. And right now, he just registered to be a lobbyist. And right now, he's getting paid to do that. Now, I understand that you made a mistake, okay? But I think when you make mistakes, there are things you can do other than that. And that's not something I think that should take place. And also here in St. Louis, okay, a lot of good things are starting to take place. This past week, it was like your company had a chance to meet down at City Hall with Lieutenant Mr. Lance Knuckles, who's the senior vice president over SLDC, which, by the way, has been totally revamped from the way it used to be. And so now what they're doing now is they're working with the community in North St. Louis that needs help the most. Right now, we've been, there's money that's coming into North St. Louis for the first time in many years. And right now, we're talking about $20 million. And the projects that they're going to be putting money into, which was announced on Thursday, is the Cornerstone is the Community Development Corporation, focused on Central West End. They'll get $120,000. Well, Central West End, we get money all the time. There's nothing new there. But now in the Preservation Square, which is McCormick, which is right downtown, north of downtown there, we can start a Fowlkes place. But down that area, where they get another for their money also, for them to go in there. What they go in there, it's been the Preservation Square, it's been over $100 million to rehab 556 units for apartment complex just north of downtown, and they would get $750,000 for this money. This would be greatly need also get another tax rate from the state and for the federal government also. And also the Hillsville project, which is the North St. Louis, right off of Bixville, has been there a very long time. And family, when you did were nice, okay, but that's going past you now. They're going to get $500,000, which is almost $500,000. And then their project is going to will receive plus that $15.7 million in low income tax credit. And that was been approved already, and they also get some bond financing also. That's very good for North St. Louis. And also one last thing, the North Side Heights. Now this is a development in the Ville neighborhood. Now the Ville neighborhood where you have Southern High School, you have Home G. Phillips. As a matter of fact, the Ville neighborhood was one of the oldest black neighborhoods in the city of St. Louis, where you had most of your people had money, back by the description, the doctors and nurses and stuff in that community. Matter of fact, the community I kind of was with the with the late Alderman David McFarland. Matter of fact, we had the only bill fair, the bill fair we had in North St. Louis, with the VP fair. We actually had we had a fireworks like they have on the riverfront, the big boomers. But we had those that we were able to raise some money for. And we also funded the bill fair. Was the first black nonprofit to be part of the riverfront celebration. That was many years ago. But right now, that neighborhood is still running a good side. So now we are actually getting the money finally, okay, to help that community. And I can say that's overdue is well overdue. That's one of the communities that's gone down, 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 down. And so these are some of the things that are taking place here. And also, you hear about Pfizer all the time. About this and that, okay. One of the things, another fact thing here that's very important to the black community is that in Jamestown Mall, this was a indoor mall that was built many, many, many years ago. And when it was built, it was like, all the North St. Louis County, I should say, North St. Louis County. When it was built, a lot of black businesses moved in there. A lot of business moved in, period, okay. Black businesses. And then you have a lot of families moved out there also. Well, when the economy changed, the business left. So you have what we call now, like in North St. Louis and North St. Louis County, where we have food deserts. Not only do we have food deserts, we got anything deserts. Having the services that other people take for granted. We don't have those services in our neighborhood. And so one of the things that's taking place right now is that area is being restored piece by piece, and getting this mall changed around. Okay, this will go a long ways to improve our community. My word for it. That then again is also overdue. And then we have to see that take place. Another thing on the national note that we didn't talk about there, but we talked about early on in the elections, John Fetterman, who was elected from the state of Pennsylvania, I think he had a stroke, came back, well, unfortunately for him, he probably came back too soon, to win the election. But right now, he's going to get to the hospital, Washington Hospital. But this time, he's coming in for depression. Now, depression is something, okay, that we all know about in our family members. It's not being talked about. They don't talk about it. That's why you have a lot of shootings, people are depressed. And people that do not understand know why, they know why they're depressed, but no one reaches out to them. You see somebody in your house, somebody just sitting in the corner, just sitting there, that's not, I remember I was a young person, my grandmother. My mother's side, I would visit them, over on the plantation there, and she would kind of sit by the window, and they said, she's no big deal. But it was a big deal. But I know in our black community, we didn't know how to deal with stuff like that. We didn't have the nice idea how to deal with that, okay? In another case, dealing with, police departments have made some changes. This is something we should have talked about a second ago. But remember Gordon being in town, talking about how we can make some attention for crime. One of the things that we're doing here in St. Louis is we become a model that when policemen go out on calls, okay, they're joined by social workers now. The brothers, you be quiet. He's trying to get him on the show. I got on the door to see what's going on. Okay, anyway, in St. Louis, we have found that actually work. A lot of people, okay, we go to their homes. They didn't go to jail, okay, and put problem overload the police system of the court and the jail. A lot of them that need social service help. And that has changed a lot of people's lives, okay? And that's one of the things that the Biden administration, it came from this was something that came from Justice Deal that was turned down President Biden. One thing I have said to people out there, I want to advise President Biden. That was you saying that for so many years. But President Biden, okay, did executive orders that allow certain monies to be going in on executive orders. They're putting together some programs that have been able to change our communities around at least a little bit. And so that's what I'm saying. This program, the one was here, that allowed you to be social services. Matter of fact, a lot of times people getting killed. There's been another shooting most recently where the police shot a man, and unfortunately, again, they showed this on TV also, so the man actually died. Police officers actually saying, please don't die. I mean, so all police officers are not bad. But sometimes, they've been trained a certain way. And sometimes, they're afraid for their lives. And most of the fact, unfortunately, we talked about this a while back on the show. We had Bishop Woods on, and we talked about a lot of police officers on the force. Before they became police officers in the neighborhood community, they were like, they were the one that people bullied all the time. They're the ones that, they got pushed around. And they said, when I get big, I'm going to become police officer. I'm going to get you back. And so a lot of times, it's like payback to the people that push them around. And I knew that I saw police officers myself, okay, who said, I was one gentleman who became a captain of the police force. And we were working together during the summertime when we was in college. He said, when I become a police officer, when I graduate, I'm not going to go to college. I'm going to join the police department. I'm going to get me a gun. And guess what? I'm going back to the neighborhood. They're going to respect me. Really, were you in there before? Brother Lyles?
It looks like we've lost Reverend Lyles there, Brother R.
Okay. Oh, okay, I see that. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Well, he's still here. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Okay, but anyway, for me, I was on mute. That's probably what happened here. But anyway, as I was saying, Scott, that that's been a thing in our black community, and therein lies a whole lot of police officers on the force. So right now, we're praying that for some changes to be made, and that police officers, like even the one down here in Memphis, that one of the officers that killed this young man, he had been found, well, he wasn't found guilty. He was charged as he was a prison guard, and beat a man real bad. While he was working as a prison guard, and what happened was he resigned from the police department before he was fired. And that's what a lot of police officers do. They resign before they are charged, and that allows them to not be fired. It allows them to keep their benefits and go someplace else. And normally, even here in St. Louis County, one thing that took place just the other day, out in Ferguson, Missouri, a chief police resigned from the Ferguson Police Department. That police chief, he's been there for a couple of years, and Paul has done a great job. He works in several police departments in North County, and he is now just resigned this family. I talked to the mayor of this family also. And so Ferguson is I think also. So, but right now, listen to Ferguson USA HotTopic.com and down towards the area of that, Scott. We're gonna go find We'll be right back. So I'll take it out of here. last month to do our chicken coverage. What we're doing now, we're waiting for some people to call in, which will be very shortly. So we would like to make a quick update. Okay, and we talked about the seafood in Ohio. Well, a lot of lawsuits have already been filed, against the northern southerner. One of the things we're talking about here is chemical waste. And Scott mentioned something that was very important, that you read a lot about people down in places, June, Canton, June, that were having problems with, their health because of burns, like they have here now which is not good. And also, we're talking about our young kids. Just this past week, and this is kind of bad to have you do this, okay? But the BBB, which is Business Broadcasting Services, they reported that another young kid, 6-year-old, by the way, brought another gun to school in Virginia. We always talk about that. Once somebody do it, somebody else want to do the same thing. And this is an example. By the way, most young men in this country. Hold on one second. We have to announce that the arrival of Mr. Chuck DeBow. How you doing, Chuck?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Good afternoon.
My life is good, sir. Well, Cheyenne right now is tied up in a meeting I knew about, and so she's not here today, okay? So we're going to have, guess what? You're going to have a whole half hour here to bring us up to date on what's been going on with the National Congress. And a whole lot's been going on. As a matter of fact, so first of all, let's talk about what's going on next week, okay, in D.C. That's the best thing to start off with.
All right.
With the National Black Business Alliance.
Yeah, we're having the National Black Business Policy Conference. And it's essentially a one-day fly-in for 50 of the top CEOs, Black National Association leadership. And we're having a briefing at the White House in the morning with the policy advisor, Keisha Lance Bottoms.
This should be the mayor of Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, exactly. And then we have a luncheon where we're going to have a keynote from the head of the Global Development Export Initiative. Her name is Terry Batch from the International Trade Administration. And we'll have significant opportunities and talk about how we're planning to basically do business with each other globally. And then right after that, in the afternoon, we have a briefing with the Undersecretary of Minority Business Development Agency for Department of Commerce, and that's Donald Cravens. So we've been working very hard to get the right people in the room and get them approved, which means which funny thing now, the folks at the White House, and I don't blame necessarily the president or his staff, but I call it Simon Says. You got all these middle people that want to, and they want to see your list and verify a background check. And so we spent kind of like the past week jumping through hoops for people and whatnot, as to say, well, who are you bringing, who's coming, and that kind of thing. So we feel pretty good about it, and we, it is what it is. It's a hit it and quit it, get in and get out, but it's not so much to hear from them as in the politicians or the administration, as much as it is to tell them what we're doing and to offer solutions to some of the challenges and problems they're having. And then they want to turn around and tell us, how they're going to help us, what they want to do.
Well, one of the things, Chuck, and working government for some time, a lot of times, they don't, we think they wouldn't know. Now, we'll say Lance Bottom, she's done a hell of a job of reaching out to different facets of the black community. not just black community as a whole. Because most administrations has not had a person, okay, they're going to reach out to the community and say, I want you to help us. And we can work together. And that's why I said about you, Chuck. And we really said that Chuck has, like human commerce has done great things, to create new partnerships, relationships, not just with the black community, black organizations. You put things together also, like with the White House, which I can recall, in recent years, okay, how the White House is doing. So that's what we think about. Am I right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But that's the funny thing about what's different now is we basically, as well, just say as black people, as black whatever. In the last previous few weeks we talked about this minority thing. And they tried to get everybody in the same room, in the same bucket, in the same category. Talking about, we got the minority delegation in this week and all that. And, man, you get in one of the minority rooms, you're like, man, who, what? What are we talking about? And then, it starts getting really crazy. So it's okay. We ain't against that, but we're about black business. We are the national black chamber.
Black chamber.
Yeah, that's what we focus on. And let me tell you something. You could put all them other minorities together. Guess who's got the biggest dollar spend?
Blacks.
Yes, sir. Let me tell you something. They until we say, well, we broke. We ain't spending no money this week. Or we not gonna buy no Hennessy. Or we ain't gonna buy Louis Vuitton. Or Gucci. Or we might not buy a Cadillac no more. Then the world changes. Can we please speak with you? Can we please come and talk with you? So every now and then you kind of got to know where your value is. It's not every now and then. It's too much of us and too much. See, the other side of that is, can we dilute that spirit? Can we dilute the culture? Can we dilute the focus and the vision? Can we get you distracted? So anyway, you're about to get me started on a whole number of different topics here. But that's what we're doing this coming week. Let me leave it like that. Yeah.
But right now, okay, one of the things, okay, that here with Electoral Commerce, okay, we've been proactive or aggressive, what you want to call it, okay. In fact, we've been being invited to the table here in this area, okay, to ask for how can we work together. Just like you stand there on a national level. And they want to hear, because one of the things that I just gave a list on the program about black history people who think was about what they had done. But the most important part about it is the money that we spend. How much money we spend. How much money, like you said, Cadillac. If we start drinking beer for a whole day, Chuck, you know how many brewers will be calling us right away? Please drink our beer. Okay. Well, like you said, stop buying Cadillac. Stop buying any automobile. Or stop buying chicken for a week. That's just, how do you think that never affect your country?
It's I believe it's estimated, and I don't know how they come up with these numbers, but it's estimated to be of an economy equivalent to a top 10, top 5 country.
Yes, it has. I saw those figures.
Yeah. I don't like saying numbers and things, but it's upwards of 3.2 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just talking about Black America.
Yes.
And you really don't get that. How do you capture the measurement of the trickle effect? So let's say, let's just take Kanye West for example. Oh, that's a great example. You heard. They don't want to tell you the whole. I preach to my staff or people I mentor or people I just in conversation with, even yourself. I'll tell you, think of a complete thought. So let's take Kanye West as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Is Kanye West crazy? I don't know. He might be crazy like a fox because he said he wanted out of the Adidas deal. They said, no, we ain't letting you out. And he essentially, see, that's the funny thing about it. I think the Jews know that he really didn't say anything offensive, but everybody kind of played along with it because he said, "Oh, it's a lot of Jews in Hollywood," or something kind of general like that. And all of a sudden, oh, he's anti-Semitic, and I'm like, well, wait a minute now. I mean, we heard a lot worse than that, and we deal with that on a daily basis. If you just change it, focusing it towards black folks. So anyway, they let him out to deal with Adidas. And he's kind of laughing and saying it would have cost me $1 billion to try to have the lawyers and everything to get out the deal because it was a bad deal and they weren't upholding their part of the deal and I needed out and I got out. Well, guess what happened now? Adidas is in financial trouble. Adidas lost over $1 billion when he pulled out.
Mm-hmm.
He lost over $1 billion. He said it's going to cost you $1 billion to keep me, and it's going to cost you $1 billion to lose me.
Hey, break it down.
Yeah, he done played his hand, and now you know what happens usually next. But maybe he's smart enough to make it so it's more profitable to keep him alive than to kill him. But that's the kind of moves that start happening when you start having people turning up dead. Anyway, we're going on a number of different topics, but that is a tangible measurement of the economic footprint.
But Chuck, let's not lose that in what you just said. But that's an excellent example, okay? An excellent example how important the black financial base here. What you just said, okay, that's not in the news, okay? Out front in the music, okay, was like when Kanye West was getting fired for $1 billion. You're not talking about, okay, how Adidas is now paying for that.
Excuse me.
Well, let's put it. We can put it in a what I would call corporate speak or vernacular.
Okay.
This is what we kind of talk about. What does diversity, equity, and inclusion cost? This you want to talk about what happened this past week? Governor Abbott of Texas just said he thinks affirmative action is illegal or inappropriate or whatever. He don't want it in his state. And remember that commercial, like, you can pay me now, you can pay me later?
You pay me later? Yes, I do.
Yeah, oh yeah. So then you say, okay, so he's a politician. We're not, let him run your business for you then, Adidas. You know what I mean? Or Amazon or anybody else, or let me tell you something, let Tesla mess around here and start just going with a political blow of the wind. So what is the cost? What does DEI cost you? Is it profitable? See, they're not really telling the real whole story just yet, but they're gonna have to because they're going with the Trump and all this other stuff that's coming in, and even under the Democrats, this affirmative action piece, and part of the delusion of all that was the minority piece. And you can't stop Mother Nature. You can't stop God because the minority is the majority. The minority is now the majority. But
thank you.
You better hold your power. You better hold your position. You better put as much Willie Lynch out in the universe as you can to get some things done. So.
Check about Willie Lynch, okay? I read that many years ago. I was on I guess, I don't want to say back in those days, and I did a morning show every Sunday morning, Thursday, like it was. And I read that Willie Lynch was on the air for the first time in I've been around the country, okay? He said, "Oh my God, where did they come from?" Where that was a part of the congressional records and stuff I was reading, okay, about the Willie story, and it was well known to the white folks, not to the black folks, and it was actually told how they were using us, and they put us in slavery for so many years, and it's actually working, and it's still working. And I mean, the program, the bright, the light colored black against the dark colored black, the rich against the poor, short against the tall, fat against the small person. Am I doing the right shot? Those are the things that were advocated in the festival. In those days, they were killing their slaves. They said, "Don't kill your slaves, okay? When you kill your slave, you lose it. Losing something. You gotta bury your slave. And at that point, your economy gonna take a hit of what he was doing. So what you gotta do is to divide them. Because when we come together, we're dangerous. You got to separate the black folks.
Man, let me tell you, that. Come on. Remember, we haven't had this conversation about. I'll just give you. Take just seconds of it. So, mental health. There's all kinds of variables to it. Sometimes it is a physical sickness or a physiological or a path. It's things that are inside your body. But part of it is, the contributing part of it is, the intangible part of it has to do with what? Fear. Fear. And so, what is fear? Fear is essentially the unknown, what you're not familiar with. I heard something in the night. I heard footsteps, or so I thought I heard a doorknob turn. Or, I don't know these black people. I don't know. That was J. Edgar Hoover.
I'm leaving the neighborhood.
Yeah, man. There's a guy walking down the street with a hood on.
What? Yeah, you got Trayvon
Elmer, look out the window. You see that guy walking down the street? He got a hood on. Doesn't he look shady? Oh, he's black. He's black. And then to go off. So then you put this fear factor in there, and just like the other thing too. Let's just bring the gay, lesbian, transgender, all that stuff into it. And so I'll be the first to admit, I didn't really understand it, but to be honest with you, I didn't think it was my business. I didn't really care that much. I got my own things that are on my mind. You know what I mean? I ain't worried about, who's got purple, green hair or what bathroom they want to use. I'm like saying, man, that's a distraction. That's something to get you off your game.
Right.
The other people can argue and whatever, but there are people that's their mission or that's their concern. I'm like, let me go on and be worried about trying to get to the grocery and get back home without getting shot. Or how much an egg's going to cost me this round, and what did they do to my paycheck, or can I get a job, or do I need to have, what's really happening while y'all trying to get us to look over here to the left while you do a 3-card molly on me and right up under me. So, we're talking about economic empowerment. We're talking about how that links and gets into your daily lives, your community, where you live, eat, sleep, and play, and work, and who you got to interact with. So, there's some people scared of that, because what happens if we figure out that, oh my God, we love Air Jordans, except Air Jordan didn't realize, like that. Here's another scenario. So our boy, Ball. Remember three balls, the Ball brothers, the sons.
Yeah. So you
gotta give the dad credit. He saw Air Jordan. He saw what the play was. Michael Jordan don't own. He don't own none of Nike. They ain't having that. they'll let him be a billionaire, but to make them 100 billion, yeah, a trillion, whatever.
Chuck, right away, right around the time when was fighting with ended the school with Adidas, okay. Michael Jordan quickly renewed their contract with Michael Jordan, okay, right away. So,
yeah, they're worried. They're worried because with the ball, I think the ball. There's a couple other players or whatever. I mean, them Chinese don't care. They'll whip you up a pair and put your name on it and backdoor the hell out of you. But they'll go ahead and put you in business for you with your own brand, your own manufacturing, your own thing. Kanye West is scared the hell out of these people because he's saying, I don't know. I think I'll just do my own thing. Mm-hmm. I don't need to have an Adidas logo on it. I might just be, open up an address on the internet and ship these things out my garage, or ship them direct from the factory. We could bypass Adidas. We could bypass Interscope Records. Mm-hmm. Anyway, you get me on a whole nother thing here. It's the economic power. It's the economic power that rules.
Mm-hmm. The dollar. That's the American.
I know we're running real short on time, but I just want to ask I just want to ask our audience, just a rhetorical question though.
Come on.
Come on now. Ira, do you know they actually missed a balloon with a missile? Mm-hmm. And they are trying to find the missile. Where'd that missile come down? A missile is $500,000. I'm sorry. Yeah, is it $500,000 for one of the missiles. Took two of them to hit one of those balloons, which might have been a $20 balloon.
Chuck, let me add on this, okay? Most recently, okay, here in this community, okay, one of the schools in this community, okay, said that could have been our balloon, okay, that we put up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But Ira, wait a minute. Y'all couldn't have just, ran off a couple hundred rounds or something off your cannon on your plane and took the balloon out?
That's what
I'm using missiles. And I'm like, Lord have mercy, what is really happening here? They're using missiles to shoot down a balloon. Well, there are 8 of them. We don't know how many different balloons or whatever, because now they just say, we can sweep some more dirt under the carpet and say, yeah, we shot down a balloon over here, shot down a balloon over there. And on one day, we've been observing the balloon program in China. We actually watched them launch it. And, the spies are spying on the spies. And then Biden said, unless it's a threat to the United States, we're not going to shoot it down. Man, the rhetoric is going back and forth. Did you know about it? Did you not know about it? Are you responsible for it? Did you not? And so while that's going on, and the buffoons are up here trying to decide what are we going to tell the public today, in the meantime, it's what? It's Black History Month.
Mm-hmm. Don't talk about
and at the same time, and boy, it's like they're chuckling and tongue-in-cheek and saying like, you better get it while you can because we ain't going to give it to you in school.
That's bad.
Well, you think it's bad as you don't want your children to know what you did. Yeah, you don't want to be shamed of granddaddy or whomever was, responsible for these things that people did. But it's okay because you're not going to get educated. Mm-hmm. History is factual. And guess what? They're teaching it around everywhere else in the world. The Russians know about it. The Chinese know about it. And all my Latin American friends will walk up and congratulate me and try and ask me questions and talk to me about Tuskegee Airmen. I'm looking around like, how y'all know about that? Are you kidding? It's in school. They study.
Wait a minute. Thurgood Marshall?
Man, let me tell you, don't. When we talk about being woke, it's a different kind of woke. We're talking about wake up take responsibility for yourself. Anyway, I appreciate y'all listening. Thank you.
But Chuck, you know something else that I didn't know. You got me okay. The first black African governor in the whole country was a gentleman by the name of PBS Pinchback. He was the first black governor. I see them back. David Harrison of New York was back, who was the first black governor. I correct myself on that. Peaceback. I was right. Peaceback. Okay, he was the first black. He was the first black governor that was of Louisiana back in those days. And they don't care that in history, do they?
Man, there's so much history today that's been suppressed and kept from us. And but you know it's there, and it's going. You know how demand versus supply or scarcity. You know, it's going to make for a great movie or something. You know, because they want to keep it from you, and they want to know. But you know, American society as a whole is like, well, government isn't going to take responsibility for educating you or educating your family. You know, or you know, you're gonna have it's all this big government, all this stuff going on, but you know, they're like saying, okay, all right, you know, they don't even want to pay teachers. I mean, some of the stuff that's going on in these schools here of late is crazy. But you know, Ira, as to pull a full circle as to what are we working on and what are we doing, all the stuff we're talking about is essentially economic empowerment that will provide economic development. And it is, in fact, good for everybody. You know, to have
Chuck, the clock is saying we got to go. By the way, it was actually we just created a department. We have a vice president for economic development. Okay, we on him again next week. Okay, we represent that in Missouri. Okay, right. So anyway, that's Chuck DeBow. My name is Alfred Scott. That's Will. And again, thank you. We miss Cheyenne. Love you. And thank you for joining us. Enjoy. Life is peace. Be safe.
Amen.